Honestly. Anyway, my story says,
Oh, go on.
we wanted to be adults so bad. Now look at us. Just
look at us.
Just look.
Crying.
Honestly, take me back to the 1990.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm tired.
I was dancing to Cisco thong song. Let me see that.
Baby, make your booty good.
But ultimately, just rolling off of that as well, changing my slang, not seeking validation from social media. Not feeling like, oh, because I didn't get 100 likes today, it means that I didn't look pretty in this post.
Do you know what the funny thing is with that? Yeah, let me just talk about that quickly.
Yeah.
My thing is, if somebody complimented you, if 100 random people complimented you on one day, you'd be overwhelmed.
Welcome back to Women, Wine and Wisdom, guys. I'm Naomi.
I'm Jimmy.
And today we're going to be talking about how to build your self-confidence, but also looking at how you can build your self-worth.
As usual, we're going to introduce some wine to you.
Yes.
You may have seen in a previous episode, we picked up some wine from Seven Dials. Yes. So Champagne de Vins in Seven Dials, I should say. Mm-hmm. So we've got a bottle of wine. It's called Sea of Dreams. And I'm going to assume that because it says sea, it's going to be paired really well with seafood. So yeah.
Looking forward to tasting this.
I'm absolutely looking forward to tasting this.
It looks so delicious.
It was bottled in 2019, so it's a 2019 wine. It's 13% alcohol, which is actually not bad.
Yeah.
And it looks cute.
It looks cute.
It's also got this like little cap, which I like. It's corked wine.
I know. I'm looking at it like, this little thingy is cute.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing is, we'll give you another wine fact about corked wine, actually. But midway through the episode, maybe, or maybe at the end.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But for now, let's crack it open. And yeah,
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so Nay.
Yes.
While we wait for our wine to be opened, let's discuss confidence and self-worth. How do we build that?
Well, I think we should start with, what does self-worth mean to you?
Oof. That's a tough one. It's putting me first. That's what self-worth is. It's being sure and confident in myself. Knowing that I have the ability to show up for myself every single day.
Amen.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's how I would describe self-worth.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
So for me, it would be just knowing that I'm enough.
Yes, I like that.
And that, I don't need to seek validation for who I am.
Yep.
I'm enough how I am, and I'm confident in who I am. So kind of similar to what you were saying, I think it's important to just be able to see yourself and just know I'm enough. I have a right to be in this room. So not this particular room, but any room that you stand in, that you have a right to be there. Even if it's a room that you feel, oh no, there's no one like me. You're the representation. Yeah. You have a right to be there. You're there by choice. Somebody has seen you and said, you deserve to be in this room. So,
and we talk about this in our networking episode. So definitely check that one out, and we'll link it as well for you. But yeah, how do we build our self-worth or our self-confidence? I think the first thing I would like to say is, people think that confidence is a personality trait.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I agree.
Some people can argue. Personally, I think confidence is a muscle. The more you use the muscle, the more it's going to grow. So if you're trying to grow that ass, girl, got to keep using it. Hit them hip thrusts. But
why'd you have to always take it to the gym?
But on a serious side note, like, you need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and do the things do the things that you say, I can't do, or I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. Do it.
100%.
By the time you keep doing things that you feel scared to do, your confidence will build.
100%.
Put yourself outside your comfort zone as much as you can.
100%. I totally agree with that. And it's also just knowing that, like, trusting the process. Trusting the fact that, okay, fine, I may not have it all. I may not know it all. But I can get to learn. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's okay as well.
Yeah.
But also knowing that your battle scars are the things that can sometimes be what creates your identity and your uniqueness. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because some people will sit behind the fact that, oh no, I'm not, maybe you feel that everyone. Oh. And on that note, guys, our wine has just arrived.
Ooh.
I can't wait to try this.
I can't wait to try this either. I know it's going to be really nice. I'm putting like a decent amount of size.
Yeah. That is a fair amount. I'm like tempted to go in, guys, and just grab it, but I want to let me be respectful and wait for Jimmy to finish pouring hers as well. Okay, let's
cheers,
go.
honey.
This looks great. Thank you. Cheers. Although, guys, I mean, I do feel like Jimmy's got more than me.
Ooh, there it is.
I'm just saying.
There it is. See, I'm not sure how I feel about the aroma. I taste the C, which is really interesting that it's got C in the name.
I hear what you're saying.
It's strange, isn't it?
I do taste the C. There is a crispness to this.
You know when you're eating really fresh seafood?
Yeah.
Like it's literally just been caught that day. I taste that. Can you taste that?
I could taste the coastline. I feel like I'm in Portsmouth. Like...
And you can taste the coastline.
And I can taste the coastline. Like I can imagine seagulls just going like, in the background. I feel like I can taste apples.
Can you taste apples?
I can taste apples.
Green apple. It's not like a red apple, is it? It's like a green apple.
It is very crisp.
Yeah, and my mouth is watering.
My mouth is massively watering.
High acid. That's what that means, guys.
I would definitely say this is a dry wine, more on the drier side.
Yeah. It's drier than the last one we had, which was called Sassy.
Yeah.
Also from Champagne de Vins.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out.
This, I feel like I could see this being paired with seafood for sure.
Do you know what? When I was in Italy, I had the most amazing seafood pasta.
Oh, don't.
This would have gone down beautifully with it.
Don't.
Beautifully with it.
Oh my gosh, I wish I just had it right now.
I love seafood.
Love seafood pasta. Like seafood linguine. Oh my gosh.
Food. I just like food in general, but I mean...
Don't we all?
One thing I can say is, though, it goes down really smoothly. Even though it's not the same smoothness as the Sassy wine. Do you get what I mean?
100%, yeah.
It's not the same smoothness, but it still goes down quite smooth.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there's a massive difference between cheaper wine and a more high-end wine. And this is definitely a more high-end wine. So although it's a little bit more dry, it is very smooth. It's crisp. It's not harsh.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if I get any like oak. I think I get like an oaky,
a bit of an oak.
Yeah, like something oaky. I don't know if it's like vanilla. I don't know if it's oaky, but there's something along those lines it's been stored in for a while before it's been
brewed.
Yeah, can you smell it or can you taste it? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think I could taste it. This is delicious, guys.
Yeah, this is nice.
I do really enjoy this, but if you are somebody who enjoys a bit more of a dry wine, I wouldn't necessarily say this is something I would have on a girls' night.
Would you have it as a beginner?
At a girls' night or just
like a beginner wine? Like if someone was like new to white wine, would you recommend this to them, or would you say to try something?
It depends,
maybe the Sassy?
Because I feel like Sassy, I definitely think it's good for beginners, but I feel like this is better paired with food. So if you're eating a meal like seafood, like seafood linguine, especially a creamy one, then I think this would be very good for that.
No, I get exactly what you mean.
So I think, I would say pair it with food. Rather than
so if you're hosting a meal, then so by the way, guys, Na's a chef, so you want to check that out too. But if you're hosting food, like generally, and you're not just having like a cheese board night or girls chit chat, this would be a good wine to pair with a seafood dish. So like I like to make seafood, potatoes, and a salad. I feel like this would pair well with it. Sea bass, especially something along those lines. Would quite work.
100%. And I would say also maybe not so much like a daytime wine, more like an evening wine.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like with a dinner as opposed to a like lunchtime kind of meal.
Right. Yeah. Because the thing is, after a few glasses of this, you're going to be feeling it.
You will definitely feel it. But it is delicious. Yeah. Very delicious. Yeah. So thank you.
So thank you, Champagne de Vins, for this.
Yeah.
It's a great choice.
It's a great choice.
Yeah.
So just have a close up of the wine. Great.
Perfect. Okay, so back to our self-discovery confidence journey.
Let's go.
You were talking actually, but
I was, but now I've had the wine, I'm kind of like I've lost kind of my train of thought there. But just following on
the
topic
journey.
Yeah, I think just making sure that you know that you're enough to be in any room that you stand in, and just allowing your battle scars to, highlight your uniqueness. Absolutely. Ultimately, for example, you might say, I don't know, you want to be a model. Mm-hmm. And you feel you've not lost enough weight and you're not a size 0, as most models are. But a lot of women have created lanes for the curvier models. Yeah. For the ladies with a little bit more curves. So it's okay. You can create your own lane. You can make sure that, just because you don't see it out there, it doesn't mean that you can't create your own kind of like lane for that thing. For you. Be the first person to start it. Absolutely. Be the first person on that journey. You might be somebody who had a child as a teenager and feel that's it, my life is over. Well, who said it had to be over? Yeah. You can share that journey with so many other women on how they can reestablish themselves, redefine themselves. You don't always have to fit into the mold of what society says is meant, what's perfect. Yeah. So just knowing that whatever you deem as your scars doesn't have to be your end journey, and it doesn't mean that you have failed in life at all. Yeah, and just to piggyback off that point, girl, is the fact that you can use your experience to inspire other people. 100%. That's the thing. So it's like when you are in your journey, a lot of the time, some people cannot understand how you got there, and they're looking at you for inspiration, for advice, because everyone has different life experiences, but yours make you who you are. Yeah. And sometimes, even though it doesn't seem pretty, and I think you've used the example of TD Jake's daughter. Yes. She's a really good example that you used last time. And I think, again, use your story to inspire the people. Yeah, 100%. Don't require validation. You are who you are. Yeah. Your journey is your journey. Yeah. God didn't make mistakes in your journey. Yeah. Your hardships is probably what's making you a better person. 100%. 100%. So definitely. I like that point. Yeah, no. And also it's just knowing, like, don't be scared to try new things. Don't be scared to step out of your box. There was a book I was reading and it says, fear is false events appearing real. Mm-hmm. So false evidence appearing real is another way to look at it as well. Yeah. So it's, and ultimately a lot of the times we're scared to do things. We're like, oh no, I can't do that because, well, that hasn't happened. The fear that you're portraying yourself probably has not actually happened. You're just holding back because you feel, you're just making excuses for yourself. And as we know, Jimmy hates people who procrastinate. Yeah, excuses are for losers. Absolutely, yeah. So and don't make excuses. Is not a thing. So. So that's it. So don't make excuses for yourself. Go jump off of that edge, knowing that your parachute is going to open. It will open, and no matter what happens, you will land somewhere. Would you skydive? Would you skydive? Girl, absolutely not. This is just a metaphor. This is a metaphor, guys. I would not skydive. I love my life. But in the theoretical sense, not the practical. I've been skydiving, yeah. Have you? Yeah. Oh, I don't think I could. You definitely could.
Because the parachute is going to open.
Oh, God. Guys, my metaphor is working. It's not working on me right now. This is all in the theory sense, so maybe I'll try the practical one day. Well, yeah, I feel like you could do it, 100%. Okay, maybe I'll give it a try. But in the theory sense, jump off of that edge. Yeah. You know that the parachute is going to open, and no matter what happens, you will land somewhere. Whether it's where you envisioned yourself landing, or whether or not you're going to land, to the patch to the right, you're going to land. So no matter what happens, just take that jump. Yeah, and I always say it, guys. I'm sure you're tired of me hearing it, but fell forward. Yeah, like 100%. Fell forward. It doesn't even matter if you fell. Everybody fails at some point. The most successful people failed at something 100%. Or at like 100 things before they became successful in what they do. So if you failed at one thing, that thing wasn't for you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. And that's the thing. Just to piggyback off of that, we rolling. You always know that failure is a life lesson. Yeah. It's not the end of the journey. It just teaches you something new to apply to what you're trying to, to the thing that you're trying to do. Yeah. Absolutely. So essentially, it's like if you, for example, say, okay, I want to try and be a social media content creator. And sounds like hard work. Girl. Then ultimately you might try something and you're like, I'm not generating the followers that I was hoping to generate. Yeah. You might try something else. And it might work. Yeah, and it might work. A failure is only somebody who gives up not somebody who keeps on trying new things. You will learn through your failures. And I think the more you understand that, the more you take that in and the more you accept that, then the more likelihood is you're going to become successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll become successful. So keep on going. Don't give up.
One thing for me to build confidence is don't be a people pleaser.
Oh, come on.
Don't be a people pleaser.
Come on. I love that.
If you want to do something, do it your way.
100%.
Try it your way.
100%.
If somebody says, oh yeah, why didn't you do this? Because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Learn to say no. So do things that suit you, that align with your morals, your ethics, your goals. Don't do things because people expect them from you. Exactly. Or people think that you need to fit their mold. I think one thing for me is that I learned very early that I am who I am. Yeah. My uniqueness makes me who I am.
100%.
And people like you often for
your
being uniqueness.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh yeah, I'm trying to fit in. Listen,
no.
Yeah, lone wolf. You know what I mean? Be the lone wolf. You don't need to always be in a pack.
100%.
That's the thing.
I was going to ask you off of that. Is there anything about you that you didn't really like that people highlight is your uniqueness?
Do you know what?
I didn't say that word properly. Your uniqueness.
You know what's so funny? It's really interesting because I feel like when I was younger, because I'm quite tall and I'm quite athletic, I think that wasn't really a thing then. Everybody wants you to be like petite and feminine. Now I'm like, if people ask me, oh, how tall are you? I'm like, I'm model height, darling. I can run the walkway. Can your sister? So yeah.
Can we just cheers to that? Because that is a clink clink moment.
Oh, let me drink.
Yes, I hope you guys sip some tea or sip some wine.
Definitely get some gin.
That was a real. I like that.
Yeah, because obviously, what am I going to do about my height? Am I going to chop my knees?
Come on.
Do you see what I mean? So it's like there was really nothing I could have done then. So it's like, oh yeah, do you know? And I remember they used to have like little nicknames and stuff. Okay, cool. But the thing is, you blossomed in secondary school. Look at me now. Look at me now. But yeah, on a complete side note, what about you?
Okay, so for me, I was always self-conscious about my smile.
I just think that's crazy. You have a lovely smile.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, girl. Yeah, go on.
But I literally always used to think, oh my gosh, like I've got... I always used to think my teeth are wild. Like, I just didn't really like my dimples. Like,
who doesn't like dimples? Who doesn't like dimples?
I just associate dimples with chubby people. So I used to think like, listen, that was my own insecurity. Don't give me side eye. So
I'm like, what?
Yes. So anyway, go back to what you were saying. I used to be really self-conscious about these things. So I never used to smile in pictures. In fact, I don't even have many pictures from when I was younger. I'd be like, I'm
actually so shocked.
Girl, aren't we all?
And the funny thing is now you're smiling all the time.
Girl, any opportunity. Hi. So
because dimples are unique, like.
But this is the thing,
and people want dimples. People be pissing their dimples.
But this is what we were saying earlier. Your uniqueness is the very thing that people are gonna love you for.
Absolutely.
And so I learned to love my smile, and I actually did this thing when I was younger, where I went around asking my friends, what is the thing that you love about me the most?
Yeah.
And a lot of them, I'll say about 95, probably 100% actually, said my smile.
Can you imagine? Yeah, your smile's captivating. So it's crazy that you wouldn't even... crazy girl, to me.
You know, but this is the thing. Your insecurities are always the things that people always love the most about you, because it's the very thing that makes you very unique. So I learned to love that and learn to just kind of live in that. And also, like, I mean, I'm sure with many other women, like... our appearance is such a big thing, like absolutely. Body weight and things like that. Whether you're slim or whether you're on the curvier side, it's something that you tend to just be like, oh no, I'm not happy with the way I look, so I'm gonna maybe just wear baggy clothes. Or I'm just gonna live behind a hoodie.
Yeah. But the thing with baggy clothes, though, as a woman, sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong, because you probably see me in baggy clothes. You look like a cereal box. You actually
on both ends.
Yeah. Whether you're skinny, whether you're thick, whether you're curvy, whether you're trying to put on weight, whether you're trying to lose weight. You have to be able to dress for your body shape
100%.
And your body type.
Yeah.
That's really it, as opposed to, because otherwise you'll look, like I said, like
exactly. And I think like on the curvier side, like, let me speak to my curvy ladies. Like,
sorry, she's excluding the rest of us, but it's okay.
Let me speak to my curvy ladies. But I used to always think, you know, I would buy a wardrobe and say, okay, so when I get to that size, I'll start wearing nice clothes. You know, and that is like a no-no. Like, learn to love yourself in your present moment.
Absolutely.
Present, like, be present. Don't always talk about tomorrow. As Jimmy says, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be here.
You might not even be
here. Why live for tomorrow when you can live in the present? So like one of my family members, Stephanie, she's just an amazing dresser, beautiful inside and out. Yep, her style is phenomenal, and she really inspired me to just learn to kind of step out and understand your body type. Some people have bigger, boobs or bigger bums or bigger hips, and it's important to learn how to love yourself in your body weight and learn how to dress towards that. There's so many amazing influencers now on Instagram. So you don't have to just look like the typical model. You can actually you can follow somebody who is more to do with, like, has a similar shape to you. Yeah. And kind of like copy or mimic their style. So you don't have to just worry about, when I get to a size 6, then I'll start dressing up. No.
First of all, the question is, if your body type is not size 6, why do you want to be size 6?
Okay, let's speak on that.
That's actually my question. Do you know what? When people tell me, oh yeah, I want to be slim, I want to lose weight, I'm like, okay, cool, but why? Because your body's absolutely fine. It's amazing the way it is. What is it that you want to be size 6 for?
Exactly. But the thing
is, are you a model? Do you want to be a model? Do you want to walk the runway? No. Okay, cool.
But it's the thing. It's like, just learn to love yourself in your present state. Like, please, ladies, like, we need to actually learn to just love ourselves as we are. If you've got the love handles, or even if you're the opposite end and you're like super slim, learn to love yourself. And one of Jummy's artists that she loves to listen to, is it Lola Brooke or
Lola Brooke, Big Lotto, Young Miami, City Girls, but any of them.
One of them, I think it's Lola Brooke. She's like, she's petite,
yeah,
but she owns her figure, and she says she's thick and she loves herself.
Oh no, that's what's her name?
I don't know.
Oh my god, no. Glorilla.
Yeah. Okay. So
Glorilla. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, she makes me laugh because when she's interviewing, she's like, yeah, I'm thick. And in my head, I'm looking at her and I'm like, we the same body type. I'm like, but it's funny because I'm like, yeah, I'm thick.
But that's the thing, you have to own it. And that's one thing that I would say, just own your look, own who you are, learn to be able to walk in a room and just say, I'm enough how I am. Yeah. Learn to adapt to being you and not seek validation from what society says is a beauty.
Absolutely. Do not belittle yourself or talk about your flaws in front of other people. So one thing I've actually learned over time is that a lot, and as you said, a lot of the things that you think are flaws for you, people love about you. Yeah. Don't highlight that to other people. Yeah. So that's one thing. And I remember my partner saying to me that there was something he said he didn't like. I'm like, I absolutely love that about you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I literally love that about you. Yeah. And he was looking at me like, you're crazy, honestly. But genuinely, that's one thing. Don't belittle yourself. Don't talk down on yourself in front of other people. In fact, you shouldn't even talk down on yourself to yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? You even know, like, some of like our mutual friends and just generally my friends, I tell them all the time, I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, what do you rate yourself? I'm like, I rate myself a 12 out of 10. 100%. And if they ask me, what do I rate them? I'm like, 12 out of 10. Yeah. Because at the end of it, like, first of all, why is the scale of 10?
Listen.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's number one. And number two, it's like, you bad, girl.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you fine, you doing well, body tight, body right.
Come on.
In the way, when I say body tight, body right as well, that's in your own body type. Own your own body type. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like, I'm just like, don't belittle yourself. You're fine. Exactly. Understand that. Express that. Exactly. Compliment yourself.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Self-worth starts with you. So if you can't love yourself, who the hell is going to?
Love you? Nobody. Because you don't even respect yourself. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other things the confident. Oh, another thing I've got as well.
Go on, let's
is showing up for yourself. So whatever you tell yourself you're going to do, you should actually do it 100%. Because you tell your brain, okay, I know that she's actually going to do this. So, for example, I'll use the gym as an example, and it's a terrible example, but I use it quite often. But if I tell myself I need to go to the gym at 6 a.m., I'm making sure I go to the gym at that time. If I say I'm going to go at 7 p.m., I'm making sure I go at 7 p.m. If I'm eating healthy this week, I need to eat healthy this week, because what I'm teaching myself is that I can show up for myself daily. If you can't even show up for yourself, one, you can't show up for other people either. So, again, you're not ready for a relationship in that aspect anyway. So yeah, showing up for yourself, you teach your brain your self-worth, you teach your brain your self-value, you teach your brain, I'm going to show up for myself regardless. You teach yourself discipline. So that's another way to build confidence and continuously exercise that.
I like that. And just to piggyback off of that,
I feel like we're just going to piggyback our episode.
Listen, have you guys heard of self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So you literally, like what Jimmy's saying, you are what you believe. So if I tell myself I'm the baddest in the room, guess what?
You be the baddest.
I'll be the baddest.
You be the baddest.
I'll believe in myself. And so if no one else believes in me, then what's the point? I need to, like, forget those, like, believe in yourself. That's where it all starts. Like, believe in yourself, know that you can do it, know that you're enough. know that you are who you say you are. Yeah. So if I say I'm gonna, be a millionaire one day, best believe I'm gonna be a millionaire. But like Jimmy always says, it's all about your habits.
Yes.
Make sure you implement habits to get to where you want to get to. Don't just say, one day I'm gonna, if this is what you want to do, or one day I'm gonna lose weight and be at, I don't know, like a size 10, if that's your goal. You're not just gonna wake up and be a size 10. You obviously have to work towards it, but you are who you say you are. So if you believe that you can get there, you will eventually get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. What other ways to build self-confidence?
What ways have you taught yourself to build confidence? Do you feel like you've always been confident from a young age, or do you feel something happened to trigger that, so you building that confidence?
I mean, to be fair, I feel like I've always been a bit gassed.
Okay, come on, speak on it.
No, but to be honest, I feel like, again, for me, I think the highlight of it all was, I think I've spoken about this in a previous episode, maybe the Get to Know Us one, but when I had surgery a couple of years ago, I was like, I had to have this surgery. It was about 5 hours. I woke up and I was like, I'm just going to be a new person. Yeah. Like, in terms of, I know what I want to do. I know where I want to get to, and I have to get there, because in this life, nothing is promised. 100%. So I think what that taught me was, you could have this surgery, but you might not wake up. Do you see what I mean? And it's like, and if you don't wake up, what have you done? What have you left behind? You've left behind, you know what I mean? Maybe I want to say self-pity, but so things like that. So I feel like from then on, I've just become more confident. And the thing is, I show up for myself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't make excuses. I feel like a lot of people, they're like, oh, I've had such a busy week, I can't make the gym. Okay, but you know what? Somebody else did. Do you see what I mean? I've had such a busy week, I've just been eating rubbish and ice cream. I mean, I had ice cream yesterday for dinner, but we ain't going to talk about that. But you know what I mean? I had ice cream for dinner. Okay, cool. But the salad bag is £1 in Co-op. It's £1 in Tesco. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I was too busy, so I didn't get to meal prep. Okay, cool. Do you see what I mean? So what I taught myself is showing up for me consistently. And to be honest, another thing is, I'm not a people pleaser, so I don't really care what people think. Yeah. And I think it's just one of those things. It's like, I've learnt with time that also, one thing is, people aren't worrying about you. They're worrying about themselves. 100%. So you're walking on the street, you're like, this person's looking at me. No, they're thinking about the bill that they just missed.
Exactly.
That's literally it. They're not thinking about you. Yeah. So it's like, I need to think about me, and I need to put me first. And then when I put me first, everything else comes secondary. If I can meet my own standards of me, and I know that I'm doing my best, that's it then.
100%.
What about you?
I agree.
What do you think?
So I would say when I was younger.
When you was younger?
When I was younger.
You're still young, honey.
Oh, yes, tell them. Tell them. I don't know, kind of like what you're saying, I cared too much about what people thought. And I also had a very warped view on what beauty was. And what that looked like.
Yeah.
So
I think we would have all done it school age and just a bit older. Yeah, 100%.
But growing up, especially now looking back in retrospect, I'm just like, time waits for no one.
Zero.
I can't believe the age I'm not going to mention my age, but I can't guess how old I am.
35. Put it in the comments.
Just ruined it from there. Oh gosh. But ultimately, I can't believe how much time has passed.
Yeah.
And when I look back on life, I'm just like, I don't want to waste my time being unhappy with the body that I'm in.
Absolutely not.
So I am who I am.
Yeah.
Like my personality is my personality.
Your man love you that way too.
Girl. So it's just like, why should that stop me from living my life or being happy?
Yeah.
And, I don't want to look back on life and just be like, I lived a miserable life because I was so self-conscious. There's just no point in doing that. No. Life is too short.
It's way too short.
Life flies. And I remember being in school and my teacher saying it, and I'm just like, I can't wait to be an adult. For what? Why did we rush ourselves?
Honestly, that's even, you know what's so funny? You said that. That's actually on my Instagram story right now. Let me even read it. Hold on, let me find it, because I just don't understand.
It's so crazy. I literally think, what is the point of wishing away life and not being happy in the body that I'm in? It's the body that God's given me. I just have to learn to be okay with it and be happy with it. I like my flaws. It is what it is. I am who I am. It's not going to stop me from enjoying.
Absolutely not.
So why not just continue
living?
Honestly. And just making it the best life you can make it. Because once it's all said and done, it's done.
It's done. And the thing is, no one's going to remember.
No one's going to remember.
Things. Honestly. Anyway, my story says,
oh, go on.
We wanted to be adults so bad. Now look at us. Just
look at us.
Just look.
Crying.
Honestly, take me back to the 1990.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm tired.
I was dancing to Cisco Thong Song. Let me see that.
Baby, make your booty good.
But ultimately, just rolling off of that as well, changing my slang, not seeking validation from social media, not feeling like, oh, because I didn't get 100 likes today, it means that I didn't look pretty in this post.
Do you know what the funny thing is with that? Yeah, let's talk about that quickly.
Yeah.
My thing is, if somebody complimented you, if 100 random people complimented you on one day, you'd be overwhelmed. So, yeah, you would. So why do you care about Instagram?
Exactly.
That's the thing. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. It's just like, guys, social media does not validate your life or who you are. You are enough. Like, I can't say it enough, but you are enough. Trust me. And once you start believing that, you'd be so surprised how many opportunities will start to
come your way. Yeah.
Literally, like we've mentioned earlier, your uniqueness is what is going to be your selling point at the end of it all. And it's the thing that makes you stand out.
Absolutely.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it makes you different.
Like, we know a guy called Gerard. And he's
behind the scenes.
His personality is phenomenal. I have to say, I've never met a guy like him.
Yeah, legit.
But because of that, I promise you, I remember him. I will always remember him.
No, facts.
You see what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's just important to just own yourself. Just own yourself, love yourself, be who you are. And yeah.
And I think, like you said, people will love you for it.
People will love you for it. You'll be so surprised. People will love you for it. So, yeah.
I think another thing from me as well would be learn to be in your own solitude. People confuse solitude for loneliness. You're not lonely.
No.
In that time when it's you and you're thriving in your singleness.
Come on, thrive.
You need to basically understand yourself better, figure out what your purpose is, learn your goals, work on your body, work on your looks. By the time you keep working on you consistently, you don't feel the need to seek external validation.
100%.
You don't feel the need to seek external, I don't even know what the word I'm even looking for is. People pleasing. You don't need to be people pleasing because you actually know who you are.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. You know your road. You know your purpose. 100%. You know your life plan. So spend time in solitude. Don't confuse solitude for loneliness.
Yeah.
Sometimes we all need to be alone.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that really benefited me as well is I've lived alone for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I don't like when people are like, oh my God, you live alone. Are you lonely? I'm like, lonely? Girl. Me? Listen. You won't be hearing Lola Brooke from outside my living room. Do you know what I mean? Even when it was like Corona and I was literally living by myself, like you would have seen me dancing to like Migos. Like honestly, I remember someone DMing me and being like, "This girl, you're actually crazy." I'm trying to think what song I was dancing to. What's it called? Do, 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 do. I know the tune, but I can't remember the name of it.
I was just about to say, can anyone else work it out? Because I can't.
10 bad bitches and they after me. Oh, one bad bitch look like a masterpiece.
Okay. Oh my dollars, that can be spraying you. Oh my dollars.
But yeah, so like I was just listening to music, you dance, do your own thing, figure out what business you want to start, what side hustle you want to start, talk to those friends that you haven't been speaking to properly in years. Like, do you
100%.
Everything that you like, figure that out. And then when you're going into a relationship, for example, you already know what you expect.
Exactly.
You already know what you like. You already know what you dislike.
You know
and then
yourself.
It's like, what's it called? If the person's not doing it, next Carla.
Hello.
Do you know what I mean? And if the person is doing it, hi.
Exactly.
Hello, hi. So yeah, definitely solitude. Don't confuse solitude for loneliness. It's solitude.
Yeah.
It's not loneliness.
I like that because I think it is very important to constantly do a lot of self-development.
Absolutely.
You're never going to stop growing or learning. And I think that's one of the beauties of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life is all about growing and learning new things. Like the people at the top are always constantly learning, constantly reading books about self-development. And so I think it's very important to constantly work on yourself, constantly pour into yourself. Don't wait for other people to do it. Do it for yourself. And that will build your self-esteem.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Just to piggyback off that point, because I think it's a really good point, is learn to take criticism and learn to take criticism well. Don't get me wrong, if somebody's trying to put you down, there's a difference.
Yeah.
But learning to take criticism and being self-aware is so important in your journey.
So important.
Because it helps you not only personally, but professionally as well.
Yeah.
You have to understand, not everything is meant to bruise your ego.
Come on.
It's okay to have, like you want to have an ego, that's fine. But I like live up to it.
100%.
In terms of if they say, oh yeah, you're not doing this well, figure out why that is.
Yeah.
understand your strengths, understand your weaknesses, because you can play to your strengths when you're confident, and it helps you build your confidence. And if somebody's telling you a criticism, maybe it's to better you.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily to belittle you. It's not necessarily to make you feel a type of way. It's just you need to be aware in what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. You play to your strengths.
Agreed.
And yeah, criticism is not always a bad thing. Like you're saying, self-development, self-help, it's for you.
100%. I like that point because that is very important. I'm always big on understanding your strengths, but also knowing what your weaknesses are. It's a very, very, very important thing to know.
What's that book you recommended?
Yeah, I was just going to say, because the book that I would recommend is Strength Finder 2.0. 2.0. So definitely check that out. Read it. It's a great way to learn to establish what your weaknesses are and how to better them, how to make it work for you. One thing I would say though is kind of speaking on like understanding your scars and your, work on your leftovers.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm waiting for the explanation for this one. But yeah,
work on your leftovers. So this is actually reference from Sarah Jakes, TD Jakes' daughter. So she was a young mum.
Okay.
And what she found was that, like she felt shame for being a young mum.
Okay.
But then she used that to her glory in the end. That became her marketing tool. That became the very thing that she was known for.
Okay.
But prior, that was her shame. That was the thing that she was kind of like
hiding
behind.
Yeah.
And so, but she calls it leftovers. Making your leftovers into a meal. So the very thing that is your shame, turning that into your glory.
Yeah.
So rather than just kind of like seeing that as, oh, okay, I'm a single mother, so I'm going to sit on this side. Saying I'm a single mother, but I'm going to make that into something.
I sit on whatever side I want to sit.
I will sit in the middle.
Me.
I will be in that room.
Yeah, you're not going to box me.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
so it's making your leftovers and turning that into a meal, turning that into something of substance, of value, and packaging it, putting a price tag on it. It's gonna be worth something.
Yeah. I like that.
So that's the thing. But yeah, so your value is your worth.
Mm-hmm. I think one from me as well, a good one. I think actually a lot of women will really relate to this, but leaving toxic situations and leaving toxic relationships.
Oh, come on.
Don't stay in a situation that's toxic 100%. To you. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're diminishing your worth. You're telling yourself that you don't respect yourself.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself that you're willing to take things that you're not.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself that I'm not going to show up for me when I need to. You're telling yourself you won't walk away from certain situations.
Yeah.
So for me, leave a toxic relationship, leave a toxic situation, whether that's work. If the job is no longer serving you, there's 1,000 more.
Yeah, 100%.
If that man is no longer providing you with what you need, there's many more.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So definitely don't stay in a toxic situation that's detrimental to your mental or physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's...
I agree. I 100% agree. Like, toxic situations are just negative. They pollute you. They cloud your judgment.
Yeah.
So walk away from them. Keep yourself in an environment that is positive. And even just to like further that as well, it's also being in, say, for example, like I always call my house my safe space.
It is.
That's your haven. That should be your haven.
Absolutely.
And essentially, it's kind of like, whenever you're playing a game, there's always home.
Yes.
Home is always the place that you go to be safe.
That's a really good point.
So like ultimately you want to make sure that home is your safe space. So it's very important to be in an environment that is an environment you want to be in.
Yeah.
So if you go home and it's toxic and you're always arguing with your parents and your room is just a mess, even though mine is probably right now, ultimately you want to make sure that your home is a peaceful place.
Yeah.
You can't be coming from work, which is stressful, and then going home and
it's a stressful environment as well.
It's terrible. So make sure your home is a safe space, and your haven is very important.
Okay. Before we wrap up, for me as well, to build your self-confidence is go to the gym.
100%.
Work out. And not necessarily just go to the gym, like wellness, self-care. Do all the things that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Working out consistently so that you obviously feel confident where, like, if you're going out, dressing up, feeling cute. Self-care, if you need rest, make sure you're getting that sleep. If you feel like booking a spa. So as you know, it's me and Nay's birthday month. So I booked myself a spa day on my birthday. Because why not? So obviously just making sure that you're looking after yourself. I think those are really important because when you look good, you feel good.
100%.
I'm gonna piggyback off that point later, but I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk to yourself nice.
Talk to yourself nice.
Just talk to yourself nice.
Yeah.
Shift your mindset completely. Like, learn to shift your mindset. Work on just talking to yourself nicely, because shifting your mindset will give you a different outlook and perspective on life. Another thing to note is that 10% of our distractions in life comes from phones and social media and things like that.
Yeah.
90% of our distractions actually comes from the way we think about ourselves.
Yeah.
So focus on talking to yourself well, focus on having a more positive outlook and mindset on yourself, and you'll see yourself progressively doing better things. So as I say, 90% comes from your internal thoughts, the way you look at yourself, the way you think about yourself. Those are the things that hold you back. Say, for example, you say you want to start a business. 10% of the distraction may be because your
external factors almost.
All to do with external factors, all to do with the fact that you are sat on your phone scrolling through Instagram. The 90% of it all comes from the way you see yourself and the way you think about yourself, and whether or not you think you can achieve it, whether or not you think you can do it. So all your internal thoughts and your mindset needs to shift in line with the way you perceive yourself.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all about self-fulfilling prophecy. So
yeah. I think the last one for me is going to be dress the way you want to be perceived. Mm-hmm. So when you're going to work, look cute. I mean, I don't always look cute to work, I can't lie. But you know what I mean? Dress the way you want to be perceived. If you're in a house with your man, dress how you want to be treated. If you're going out, dress how you want to be treated.
Agreed.
Shop for yourself every day. And I think we've mentioned that earlier as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's the last thing, because obviously how you look as a woman is actually a big deal. I mean, this is so bad, but I shouldn't say this. But when you don't look after yourself, and being an ugly woman, quotation, because obviously money can make you pretty and all the things, beauty lies in the eye of the beholder, but being an ugly woman is the equivalent to being a broke man.
Ooh.
So basically, look after yourself, because you know the thing is, and we said this before, and Chris said it on one of our episodes, is that a man will ask another man, what does your woman look like? But a woman will ask a woman, what does your man do? So that's the equivalent, that's the way I perceive it.
Interesting.
Yeah. What do you think about that? I know you're...
Listen, we're going to have to leave that for a whole nother conversation topic, because if we get into the meat of that...
Yeah, it's mad.
If we get into the meat of that, that is juicy.
Juicy. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I know you guys going to have something to say about that. But I mean, it's true, but yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to delve into that in another conversation, because that is quite meaty. But definitely want to hear what you guys think about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So basically the quote is that an ugly woman, quotation mark on the ugly, because I know you're all going to cry about it, but is the equivalent to a broke man. And we can say broke man.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to put anything in quotation marks for that one.
It is what it is. Yeah. Like that. But yeah. But just lastly, I would say on my end, just don't procrastinate. If there's things that you want to do, things you want to achieve, you know, just go for it.
Do it.
Ultimately, just do it. Like, stop wasting time. Like we've said earlier, fear is false events appearing real or false evidence appearing real. Go for what you want to go for. Go for your dreams. Don't procrastinate. Don't sit on it. Yeah, don't hold yourself back.
Do you.
Be you. Yeah. Literally, do you. Be fulfilled. Love yourself. Know that you're enough. Know that you're worth it. You are valued. You deserve to be in this room.
Yeah. And every day's a journey. Some days you're going to have good days. Some days you're going to have bad days. But it's how you pick yourself up, how you continue on is very important. And that's how you're going to keep building your confidence, 100%. Enjoying your journey to discovering yourself more and more.
Yeah. 100%. Surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with people who are going to pour into you, whether it's
pull you up.
Yeah. Exactly. Whether it's your relationship with your man or your girl, or whether or not it's your relationships with your friends.
Or family.
Be you, and like know that you're enough. Let them love on you, let them support you, let them pour into you and encourage you to achieve your goals.
Yeah, and accept the compliment. Don't be like, you don't say, oh, you look so pretty. Me? No. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, that's another thing that we can probably discuss. If you guys want to hear about it, we could talk about imposter syndrome, because that is a big thing. And that is definitely something that I battled with a lot growing up. So
I feel like every single human battles with imposter syndrome.
I'm sure, yeah,
absolutely.
Because it is definitely, sometimes it is hard to take a compliment, and we need to learn how to accept that more. So if you guys want to hear about that, let us know. Put it down in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. So yeah, but on that note,
cheers, beautiful.
Cheers.